All right, so last week we talked about Richard Sherman, and though he'd be a great fit for this team, just based on their history of talent acquisition and personnel, there's just no chance they're going to sign him. On Monday, a new name emerged available in the market, a name much better than Richard Sherman, and a name once again that will be passed over by the Cowboys because of their pattern of recent history of talent acquisition and personnel. But the reason that I'm continuing to go down this trail and bring these players up and bring to the forefront of Cowboys fans' minds is because the Cowboys continue to make the same mistake when it comes to their secondary. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you like what you see, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And also consider hitting subscribe and ring the bell. That way you're always notified when I post a new video. Cowboys finished up mandatory minicamp for their side, but the New England Patriots started on Monday mandatory minicamp for their side. And one player that was missing from mandatory minicamp, Stephon Gilmore, the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and a guy that is upset about his current contract. He's finishing up the final year of a deal that he signed with New England. His base pay this season is $7 million, but because some of his money was accelerated into last year's cap, he counts $16 million against the cap. Now, that's a tough number to stomach. We haven't really seen the Patriots in their history play ball in these types of situations, so he's very much on the trade market right now. And based on his cap hit this year, we're not talking about a first or a second round pick in exchange for a guy like Stephon Gilmore, who, again, is one of the best corners in the National Football League. And I'm going to give it to you straight. The Cowboys are not going to go after Stephon Gilmore. They're not. They're going to be certainly linked to him with rumors, but they'll be just that, especially when it comes with a cap hit of $16 million. Now, the Cowboys could trade for him and give him an extension, one that he wants, and then spread out that cap hit over the course of the contract. But the Cowboys have not shown in any capacity a willingness to invest in guys on the other side of 30, no matter the position, when it comes to free agency. Now, again, to the Cowboys' credit in not investing in players on the other side of 30, he is coming off an injury. Gilmore played in only 11 games last season. But the counterpoint to that is the Cowboys' defense, at this point in time, though improved, may still not be good enough to be average in the NFL in 2021. And that's where the rubber meets the road here. Because for the Cowboys to be a legitimate Super Bowl contender, their offense is going to be fantastic, but their defense has to be average. And though the Cowboys should be much better up front and in their front seven, I'm very, very concerned about the Cowboys and their secondary. And remember, this is a passing league. So even as good as they could be in their front seven, this is a team that still, I believe, doesn't have the personnel to withstand big passing attacks, which, through who they play in the regular season, might not hurt them. But when you get to the postseason, you're going to be playing against prolific offensive football teams, and not having the right corners or personnel could be a fatal flaw in terms of winning big time in the NFL in 2021 for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have put all of their eggs in the draft basket. It's well documented, right? Cowboys are not spending any money in free agency, and they very rarely make trades. Over the last 10 drafts, going back to 2011, Cowboys have drafted 12 corners, so over one corner every year. Now, see how many of these names stand out to you. 2011 fifth round Josh Thomas, 2012 first round Mo Claiborne, 2013 fourth round B.W. Webb, 2014 seventh round Terrence Mitchell, 2015 first round Byron Jones, yay! 2016 sixth round Anthony Brown, 2017 second round Chido Awuzie, third round Jordan Lewis, sixth round Marquez White, 2019 fifth round Michael Jackson, and then in 2020, Trayvon Diggs in the second round and Reggie Robinson in the fourth round. 12 corners taken over the last 10 drafts, not including this year's draft. One Pro Bowl. One. And that one Pro Bowl from Byron Jones is no longer on the team. All they're left with is Anthony Brown, who has 6 interceptions in 66 career games with the Cowboys, and Jordan Lewis, who has 4 interceptions in 61 career games with the Cowboys. Now look, there is a lot of excitement over Kelvin Joseph and a little bit less excitement over Nahshon Wright, but these are still 2 guys that are relative unknowns that could provide high upside for a team that has drafted a decent amount of corners over the last decade, but it hasn't produced much in terms of impact players. In fact, the only impact player the Cowboys have selected at corner was one of the 2 times they took a corner in the first round. Now, Trayvon Diggs, a lot of upside after last year, looks like a good player. But guys, I mean, at this point, what the Cowboys are counting on, with the most important position on defense, is a second-year player in Trayvon Diggs and a guy that we're not even sure will make the roster who they drafted last year, Reggie Robinson, who was shifted to safety only to be shifted back to corner this year. A couple of guys they drafted this season. And then Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, a couple of guys that we already know what they are. And that is replacement level at best. Average. Jags. Just a guy. When you're looking at a cornerback room right now that is highly dependent upon a bunch of young players, adding a veteran talent to help solidify that locker room and give you an insurance policy, if some of these rookies and second-year players don't pan out, seems like the best road to take if you're a team that has aspirations of winning a Super Bowl. Stephon Gilmore and Richard Sherman, to a lesser degree, are two players that Super Bowl caliber teams are ready to take on because they can put them over the top. This is a team that's offense is ready to win a Super Bowl this season. The question is, will their defense be average? Because it will take an average defense at least for this team to be a legitimate Super Bowl team. If not, they'll flame out early in the postseason again. Cowboys have made mistaken drafts past the cornerback position. Certainly I hope the last 2 years where they've selected multiple corners is an exception to the failures that they've had in previous drafts. But it might be worth your while for a team that's Super Bowl caliber to hedge a bit against that. And though the defense has improved, perhaps dramatically, because of some of the additions in free agency, because of some of the additions in the draft, and because of the addition of Dan Quinn, you have to ask yourself, is this defense, and particularly in their cornerback and defensive backfield, good enough to be average in 2021? That I'm not so sure about. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you've watched this far, chances are you liked what you saw. Also consider hitting the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you're always notified when I post new videos.